want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
All right, Steeler fans, what is going on? Welcome back to another Victory Monday, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about our guy, our quarterback, our QB1, perhaps the greatest of all time, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button down in the description below. And yes, the moment I woke up today, I was like, you know what? It's time to double down on this. It's time to talk about the Steelers because we have a real quarterback back in Pittsburgh once again. And you see the tweet on the screen. It says Aaron Rodgers finished with a 136 passer rating versus the Jets. That's the highest passer rating by a Steelers quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger in Week 10 of 2018, nearly 7 full years ago. 7 full years it has taken for the Steelers, for Mike Tomlin, for Omar Khan, for Kevin Colbert, for TJ Watt, for Chris Boswell. It has taken 7 years for us to find a real quarterback. But now that we have one, it is time to tell the world about it because if you guys, this was a long offseason process. I'll be honest. This was a long offseason. There was a lot of highs, a lot of lows. There was so much talk about who our quarterback is going to be. First, this is going to be a message to, the rest of the NFL world, like everybody who's not a Steelers fan, because it was funny. We were getting clowned on. It was jokes when it was like, oh, you guys are going to get Aaron Rodgers. Ha, 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 ha. Aaron Rodgers, he stinks. He's so old. Aaron Rodgers, he didn't do good on the fucking Jets. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that he's on the black and gold, now that he's on a real team, now that he feels like, okay, I actually want to play football again, now that he's not allowed to just run the organization because we're not a clown organization like the Jets, things are working out pretty well. And you know when else that happened? It probably happened in Green Bay, another real organization where they weren't just letting him get his ways. Sure, they were very lenient with the guy because he put in, 18 years of, Hall of Fame status play on the Packers. So, eventually they kind of bent the knee. But the Jets, they've had nothing going on since Joe Namath and Mark Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? So, Aaron, he was allowed to pull up there. He was allowed to make all the moves. He was allowed to get a new GM. He was allowed to get every player he wanted. And granted, it didn't really work out. Sometimes players don't make the greatest GMs, but in terms of his quarterback ability, I can't believe that ever got called into question. Now, obviously, he's not where he once was, of course. He is 41 years old, I think. I think it's 41, which, hey, man, that's crazy. I think he's 41, right? So, obviously, he's not playing 20s, 30s Aaron Rodgers. But 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers is still miles and miles and miles better than a lot of the quarterbacks out there. I'll say Aaron Rodgers right now, based on the one game, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league right now. But maybe Josh Allen after his play last night, it'll go him. And then Lamar also balled out. But Aaron Rodgers, shit. At this point in life, Aaron Rodgers is top 3 to top 5 quarterback right now, and we literally got him for free because you know why? He didn't want to go to any other team. He did not want to play for any other coach besides Mike Tomlin, and he put up the ruse. He put up, the ayahuasca smokescreen because he didn't, like I said, he didn't want to go to any other team. He wanted to come to Pittsburgh, and that vaunted everybody's opinion about the guy. That changed everybody's opinion about him. That changed the narrative about him, like he wasn't a baller, like he's not a hooper, like he's not one of the best quarterbacks to ever live. And personally, I am just ecstatic that it worked out like that, and then now he's the quarterback of our team. And of course, it has just been one game. Obviously, we all know it's just been one game. But you see the tweet on the screen. You see what's going on. It has been so long since our offense put up a respectable 30 points a game. I'll be honest. It has been so long since we were able to drive down the field and score on an opening drive touchdown. And we did that with Aaron Rodgers' his first game. Mind you, Son didn't even play the preseason. Mind you, our wide receiver, too, that everybody hates, everybody. Steelers fans, we love Calvin Austin. I did a TikTok where I was like, Calvin Austin, he's going to become a household name. We know about Calvin Austin. I know that. But the point of it all is we're attacking our wide receivers on the team because maybe they're not that good. They're not that good when you have fucking Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett throwing them the ball, but when you have Aaron Rodgers, a pinpoint precision passer, PPPP, when you have Aaron Rodgers, a guy out there, he is going to utilize Calvin Austin. This same tweet. Imagine if Big Ben had Calvin Austin, back then, even in 2018. If Big Ben had Calvin Austin in 2018, Are you fucking kidding me? Like, look what we did with Chase Claypool, for God's sakes. Like, if Big Ben had these guys, we would be out here hooping. Now that Aaron Rodgers has these guys, we are out here hooping. And even like Ben Skoronek, even, Pat Freiermuth he caught some passes in the game. Like, Aaron, the way that he is playing, and mind you, like I said, it's been one game. It has been literally 4 quarters of football that I'm making this whole video about. But I am excited, and you guys out there, you guys should be excited too. Another point I want to talk about, right? Because this is solely going to be about Aaron Rodgers and our quarterback situation, and like, ha ha ha, because I'm telling you, if you guys know, you guys know. We were getting joked on, clowned on, laughed at, memed. We were getting, predicted to have this losing record, predicted to lose to the Jets, predicted to get Arch Manning, for God's sakes, all because we signed Aaron Rodgers, not Mason Rudolph again, and we're going to talk about that in hopefully like the next 2 minutes. Not Kenny Pickett again, not re-signing Russell Wilson with, by the way, New York, how's that working out for you? You guys need to start Jackson Dart tomorrow. You guys need to start Jameis Winston tomorrow. Not Justin Fields even, and Justin Fields, he played a very good game. The 2 best quarterbacks that we could have had were Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers, and they faced off yesterday, and they both looked pretty good. Personally, I would have loved to keep Justin Fields, but I'm not going to be mad at having Aaron Rodgers. That is the overall point. Guys, this is Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'm looking so rough right now. I just caught myself in the webcam. I look crazy right now, but I am looking crazy in order to tell you, in case you hadn't heard. We have Aaron Rodgers, and even I had my doubts about it. Even I had my gripes. I was nervous. I was scared. I talked about the whole DK Metcalf thing. I seen him play good on like a different team, right? And then, he comes to Pittsburgh, and I'm just like, I don't know, because I hadn't seen it yet. After yesterday, after seeing, what DK Metcalf can do after he gets the ball in his hands and he's able to, get that rack or whatever. Hold on, I think I have a tweet up here about it. I want to find, no, that's the Calvin Austin. But look at this play right here by DK Metcalf. He gets it, and look at the speed that he is able to move with. Like, this is crazy. And if there was any more room, if he would have caught this any more on the inside of the field, this is literally a touchdown from DK Metcalf right here. And, just a fantastic throw by Aaron Rodgers. DK Metcalf's ability to make the person miss. He's just a hooper. And so that's what I mean with, like, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to look. But now that I've seen it in one game, we might go to the fucking Super Bowl, man. And granted, we could use another wide receiver, I guess. Like, if there was somebody out there, maybe even Tyreek Hill, now that Miami is, Miami, if there was another player out there that, like, we could get for the free skis, for the low skis, I'm with it. But even if we don't, maybe I'm sleeping on, the other talent in the league, because I would love to win a Super Bowl, right? But when you look at like the Buffaloes and maybe even the Baltimores and maybe even the Packers, like when you look at these teams, it's like, we are going to have to play our absolute best game in order to beat them. Me, you, Steelers fans, I know our standard is a championship, but for right now, we got to get over this playoff win hump. And do I think we can win a playoff game with Aaron, with Calvin? I think so. I really think so, that we can win one game, and all we have to do is that. Because once we get, out of the heebie-jeebies of it all, we can then start stacking up the wins. And with the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, shit, he might be able to come back next year. Like I said, it's been one game, but I'm ecstatic, and you guys should be out there hyped too. My next point, right? My next point about this is now to Steelers fans, right? Now to us, right? Like this is like a fraternity right now, Steelers fans. You guys wanted Mason Rudolph over Aaron Rodgers. That was a real take, a real opinion. People were upset that we signed Aaron Rodgers because Mason Rudolph wasn't going to get to play. And I respect the loyalty. I respect the home team in you. I respect whatever it takes to feel that way about Mason Rudolph versus Aaron Rodgers. But now that we've seen one game, now that we saw one quarter, now that we saw one opening drive touchdown, that all needs to be quiet. Like Mason Rudolph, I don't love Mason Rudolph, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the story. He's cool. He's been on the Steelers. I talk about it. Anybody who's been on the Steelers for a while, like, I kind of draw myself to or whatever. Mason Rudolph, he is perfectly fine in his role as a backup to third string quarterback. But in terms of we are going to start this guy, because that was a real thing that was going to happen before the season started. In terms of we are going to start Mason Rudolph or get a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, You get a 60-year-old Aaron Rodgers before you start Mason Rudolph, in my opinion, if the guy wants to play. Like, that was an absolute no-brainer. And once again, now that it has happened, now that we are in the day that we are today, which is a Victory Monday, which, ladies and gentlemen, we finally fucking made it to football. I was watching Sunday Night Football with the Bills versus the Ravens last night. On Friday, I was watching the Chiefs versus Chargers. Like, I never thought I would miss football as much as I did, but here we are. Like, I am, and now we're in Victory Monday on a game where we low-key could have lost it because the defense was, playing like some ass, but that is not the point of this video. Now that we are back to football, it is back to spreading narratives. It is back to pronouncing the Steelers kings. I had my doubts about the season. I was like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. We just got to win a playoff game, and that still holds true. But I am going to be excited to watch football this year, not only because, the Steelers, we might, be able to do something, but in the way that we are doing it. If our defense just locks it down, because yesterday it was low-key very entertaining, but it's because both defenses just weren't doing shit. Both defenses, they were just like, hey, let's let Aaron cook, let's let Justin Fields cook. It's about them. This is their story. We're going to let them do what they got to do. But the game was very entertaining. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We are used to 16-13 slobber knockers. We are used to 3 and outs, field goal, 3 and out, field goal, turnover, field goal. And then all of a sudden we get a turnover and then Boswell cranks the game winner. That is the games we watch. And for 4 quarters, it's a snooze fest, man. I'll be honest. It's a snooze fest. I hate when we go on primetime in the way that we did and it'd just be so boring. And Russell Wilson, he kind of gave us a glimmer of hope. It was like, okay, it's there, maybe, okay, it's there, maybe, okay, it's there. And then he just fell off a bridge. Aaron Rodgers, if you fall off a bridge with this team after me making this video, I don't know what I'll do. I will push for a nationwide ban of ayahuasca if that happens. But for now, Aaron Rodgers scored 4. When's the last time we had a quarterback get 4 touchdowns? Honestly, when is maybe it's since, this 2018 year, to get 4 touchdowns in week 1. And he made it look easy. He made it look pedestrian. He made it look like it's just normal. And I'm overhyping it. I'm overrating it. But for a guy who's been watching every Steelers game, for a guy who gets on here and talks about the state of the team and what we're going to do, and I'll go against any organization, I'll go against any fan and say the Pittsburgh Steelers are better. But man, I would love for the tape to be better to reflect that. Now that the tape is better, now that our points are up there in the defense, it's going to calm down, I think. I think the Jets, they had every kind of motivation going into this game. Next week against Seattle and Sam Darnold and them, I don't think we're going to look as bad. Now, we'll see how it ends up going. I don't want to jinx us, but I don't think it's going to look as bad. The defense is going to get better. Is the offense going to get worse? Maybe, right? But with Aaron Rodgers out there, we got Ben Skornek, fam. If you can just have a sliver of hope, if you can just have a sliver of openness, I'm going to throw you the ball. Let's look at this play right here because I talked about him and Calvin Austin. Aaron Rodgers fakes the toss and he throws it up. He gives Calvin Austin a chance. And this is all that we are talking about. This is all that we have needed. Look at the back shoulder ability by Calvin Austin and the throw by Aaron Rodgers. We're going to mute it. Fakes the toss to Jalen, throws it up because it's one-on-one. I talked about this in the preseason. Calvin Austin is a weapon. We need to throw him the ball. People don't know. They just think, okay, run straight down the field and he's fast and either he's going to score a touchdown or he's not. Low-key, that is Calvin Austin, but in situations like this where he's trying to progress, he's trying to raise his overall Madden rating, he's trying to get attribute points, you need to get him receptions and you need to get him big plays, you need to get him, hyped up, and so you throw this back shoulder and you just give him the chance, and not only do you throw it, right, because throwing it to him is one thing. Throwing it to Calvin Austin and giving him a chance is one thing. But having the throw be so good, having the throw be something that is actually able to be caught on the back shoulder and not some fucking 20-yard pass over him or not some shit behind him, not some shit to the defensive back and it's a turnover. It is a perfectly placed ball by Aaron Rodgers for Calvin Austin. Only Calvin Austin could have caught this, and fortunately for us, he did. And then he gets hype. He gets the crowd into it. There's a lot of Steelers fans. You see all the towels in New York. It's cinema. And like I said, since 2018, we have been waiting for this. It has been 7 long years without this shit. And ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited that it is now back in Pittsburgh. So with all that said, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. Just wanted to get on here and pronounce Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers kings. And we're going to be talking about the Steelers some more. We're going to be talking about Seattle some more as we're going into this next game in week 2. But for now, it is Victory Monday. Half of the AFC North can't celebrate today, so we got to take that for, what it's worth. A lot of teams can't celebrate today, but we are one of the few who can, and we are legitimately happy about this. The defense, they're going to lock it back in, and if they don't, fuck it, because we have Chris Boswell and we have the best special teams coach of all time, and we have one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So with all that said, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.